So you've been in the markets for quite some time. You've got a long-term view. You've seen a lot of different market cycles, a lot of different trends, particularly in tech, excuse me. How does the emergence of Bitcoin and its current monetization compare to trends that you've seen in the past?
Well, it is like nothing I have seen in the past, but it is bringing everything I love together. So this idea of Bitcoin being a global monetary system, that fits right into my economics. Art Laffer and I he's been so excited about this since we did our first white paper in collaboration with him in 2015. He's become so excited about it that he just joined me in El Salvador to meet with President Bukele to advocate for not only help. He doesn't need any help on the Bitcoin side of it, but on the economic side, you get economic reform, educational reform, Bitcoin and AI, working together, converging, and you have an explosive opportunity there. So, but global monetary system. So it is that Bitcoin, technology, the layer of the internet that really developers forgot in the early 90s because they had no idea that commerce, financial services, what have you, would take place on it. And then a new asset class, 3-in-1. There's never been anything like this. There are so many convergences taking place, and these are technology convergences taking place. One is, this idea that Bitcoin can really help. Not only is more than half of it produced with renewables now, but it actually is a solution to some environmental problems, right? Exxon putting Bitcoin mining machines in its natural gas fields to basically harness, instead of flaming natural gas and venting, even worse, with methane, harnessing that energy to mint Bitcoin. That was the first, finally people are getting this. We wrote a piece in conjunction with, at the time I think it was Square, now Block, about how Bitcoin actually will be, and we are seeing this, it is happening now, will be a way to overbuild a solar and wind.
River's the best place to buy Bitcoin. Go to river.com/TFTC, sign up today, set up an account, and start stacking sats. Back to the video.
So you put Bitcoin mining into a utility ecosystem where, let's say in Florida, where we relocated our company in Florida, the sun shines all the time, right? And so much so that it fills up in utilities, these huge, storage units. And then what? You just waste it? No, put it into Bitcoin mining, mine the Bitcoin, and let that be your funding source for more solar and wind infrastructure. And so we see the convergence to be a win-win, actually, right?
Yeah, and I mean, we experience it firsthand down here in Texas, and particularly in West Texas, where there's a lot of solar and wind. It helps monetize those periods when electricity prices are negative and you don't want to push it to the grid because that's a cost for you. So you mine Bitcoin with it. And then it also helps out the reliable generation like natural gas plants as well if they're suffering from negative pricing too. It's like, hey, you put a Bitcoin mine behind the meter and monetize that.
It prevents it eliminates, peaker plants, and more peaker plants that are used,
seldom
5% of the time, right? So, I mean, there are puts and takes.
Yeah, I think Bitcoin mining is going to lead us to peak energy efficiency. Most people don't understand it, but you literally bring the market to the molecule.
Absolutely.
There's no such thing as stranded energy anymore, and it's it's insane to think about.
Yeah, it's been interesting. This brings us back to, again, the internet in the early days. Do you know how much electricity the internet is consuming? It's consuming as much energy as Denmark. And of course, it was the same thing with Bitcoin. This is a familiar refrain.
Mm-hmm. And it's weird too that there's been this demonization of energy. We can debate about clean energy, green energy, whatever it may be, but I think we can all agree that humans, if we were going to progress and flourish,
absolutely,
we need more energy. That's not to say we shouldn't be efficient or we should be wasteful with that energy, but we have to acknowledge as a society that we're going to need a lot more abundant, cheap energy if we want to flourish.
Well, as even a human being grows, same thing, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, it's that's the